A very warm welcome back for the friendly, smiling, and pretty popular come-forward aggressor, Carlos Takam. Cameroon-born, a resident of Noisy-le-Grand in the Paris suburbs, and happy to be back in Britain after that brave and gritty 10-day notice job against Anthony Joshua. We know he's tip-tough. We know he has no issue with either the big stage or the big punches. So many fancy Takam tonight, but he is 37. It's late on in his career, Carl. What has he got at this level now?
Well, I think he's got a lot at this level. Let's not forget, I mean, Delboy Chisora, good fight. I've got a lot of respect for him. We don't know how he's going to turn up. Depends what Chisora does. If Chisora comes to fight, Takam might just catch him. If Chisora comes to just move and get through this, might be a bit of a dull affair. I've got a feeling we're in for a bit of a cracker here, but don't make any mistake. Carlos Takam's still very dangerous and very motivated.
Decked in his usual garb. Did he have that on when he fought you, David?
He certainly did. He had the hat on, the balaclava. He's a character for sure. You know, me and Dereck have had a long history going back many years. And here he is. He's still here. He's still like chief support in a massive pay-per-view event. So he's still relevant. But tonight we'll find out whether he's genuine world class or not.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from London, England, Dereck Chisora.
One of the real enigmas of British boxing. Eccentric, unpredictable to the core, and he had a cult character we always enjoy seeing, because there is talent, there is attitude, and there's a sense of impending drama. Delboy, what happens next?
Well, we're going to find out tonight, because Carlos Takam really is a lively opponent. We saw him against AJ. He came to fight, came to win, and he gave us a real entertaining night that evening. Dereck Chisora, he's not on for this. He could be in trouble, but Dereck Chisora comes in. He goes hot and cold, you never know what to expect. I'm hoping he turns in a performance this evening, because this could be a real treat for the fight fans.
34 now, a 36-fight veteran deep into this crazy career. Often flattering to deceive, and he's been his usual tricky self this week with no shows and odd interviews, but he promises war, and it may be brutal this. 3 years younger than Takam, but he's been around forever, Chisora. Slightly heavier, not much between them in the weight department, both such solid heavyweights and so experienced. Both been around, 76 fights between them, nothing in the rounds, nothing much in the KO percentage, both can dig. Could be a long, grueling one. Takam, a narrow favourite. Chisora 9-4 against. Really interesting, isn't it?
You know, Carlos Takam, you know, people forget when he fought Anthony Joshua and gave a great account of himself, that was on 2 weeks' notice. 2 weeks' notice. People seem to forget that. This time around, he's had a full training camp, and he looks in terrific condition. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it, because as I said, I've shared the ring with both of these guys. I've always thought Carlos Takam was a better version of Dereck Chisora. That's why I brought him in for sparring. And I wanted to have someone in the ring with me on a daily basis in the lead up to the Chisora fight who was better than Chisora, and it worked out perfectly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the O2 London, We are live on Sky Sports Box Office, and this is our chief supporting contest of the evening. Sponsored by William Hill, StubHub and JD Sports. Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing in association with OPI since '82. Very proud to bring you 12 3-minute rounds for the vacant WBA International Heavyweight crown. Sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, here present Mr. Charles Giles and Mick Collier, and the World Boxing Association Supervisor Robert W. Smith. At ringside, our 3 judges scoring: from England, Steve Gray; from Spain, Salvador Salve; from France, Jean-Francois Toupin; our timekeeper, Mr. John Smith; and in charge of the action, referee from Yorkshire, England, Mr. Howard Foster. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the boxers. In the red corner, wearing black shorts with silver trim, on the scale, 17 stone, 8 pounds, 3 ounces. From 40 contests, 35 wins, 27 of those wins inside the distance, 4 defeats, 1 draw. He is the former WBC silver champion. He is the reigning IBF Intercontinental champion and world title challenger. From Noisy-le-Grand, Paris, France, Carlos Takam. And in the blue corner, wearing the silver grey with white trim, weighing in at 17 stone, 11 pounds, 7 ounces. From 36 contests, 28 wins, 20 big wins inside the distance, 8 defeats. He is the former British, Commonwealth and European champion, former WBO and WBA International Heavyweight champion, and world title challenger from Finchley, London, England, Dereck Chisora.
Okay, fellas, spoke to you both in the dressing room. You both know what I expect. Keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both of you watch your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
Long rumoured and now heavyweight reality, 2 of the old war horses of the division lock horns in what's a really intriguing match and a super subplot to the excellent main event which follows. Dereck Chisora and Carlos Takam. Both can box, both can dig, bucket loads of experience. Who has what it takes at this stage of their journeys? Takam has had a full camp, not the 10 days notice. Chisora's worked really hard under Don Charles, sparring with Bryant Jennings. And he's 3 years younger, but the wear and tear could be evident. Takam's so fit and strong. And both down to work straight away.
Heavy-handed Takam, fighters coming together very close, very early. Dereck Chisora just relaxed as he always is. Don't quite know what you're going to get with Chisora. Can't see him get that jab going, get the guard up just early on, because Takam showing that he means business here straight away.
He's got big support, hasn't he, Chisora?
He has, yeah. He's a fan's favourite. So he's got like a love him or hate him kind of personality, and there's a lot of lovers here tonight for Chisora, which is nice to see.
Big clubbing hooks from Takam early, trying to back Chisora up. Hurt him on those ropes. Body shot going in as well. It's fast and furious from Takam, and a lovely uppercut, and he's looking to take Chisora out. He comes back with a left hand. Drama in the opening round here of Chisora Takam.
Yeah, Chisora needs to get his back off these ropes so early on. Just spin off the rope. Don't sit there taking these full-blooded punches, because it's only going to soak energy out of you.
This is how I kind of envisaged this fight going. Takam putting a lot of pressure on Chisora, and Chisora being pinned against the ropes. Takam, when he was working with me in sparring a few years back, could maintain this for 10 rounds. If he can do this tonight, Chisora's going to have a hell of a headache at the end of it.
Chisora came in with a red cap saying war. That has been the motto throughout the build-up. Body shot from Del Boy, and again, Takam doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Telephone box stuff early in this heavyweight encounter. Big right hand, Chisora's hurt, underruns, and Takam thundering the shots home.
Chisora starting to look for the counter there before that flurry attack from Takam. He needs to get off these ropes. He's got to get out of the corner because Takam will happily oblige and just keep working away.
He has thrown a couple of good body shots, Chisora, but can he keep Takam off him? What a start.
Great, this is exactly what we was hoping for, an all-out war. Chisora's thrown a couple of nice sneaky left hooks to the body, which seem to have landed, but he needs to throw more of them. He needs to really work. Just like, this is better, this is better.
Big shots raining in from the pair of them in a tremendous opening round here at the O2. Wow!
Now that is a start, that's a real start to a fight, that is. That is absolutely beautiful work there from both fighters.
The atmosphere is electric. Everybody's singing. Dereck Chisora looking up into the crowd, just taking that in his stride, having a little stretch out. So he looked in trouble. I don't think he was badly hurt anywhere there. He's showing Takam there that he's brave enough, tough enough to sit in front of him. But I question them tactics so early on because Takam's a big, strong man. And we see here these punches going in. They're going body and head.
Maybe Chisora's hoping that Takam punches himself out because he threw a hell of a lot of punches in that first round. I've never seen Takam unload that early, that much, you know, so maybe he thought he could get Chisora out there early, and, you know, if this fight goes into later rounds, you can't afford to keep your foot on the gas that long, that early in a 12-round fight.
It's always tempting, David, you know yourself, when somebody sits in front of you, just to work away and let them shots go, and that's what Takam did there.
The silver grey of Dereck Chisora from Finchley, the black and white of Carlos Takam from Noisy-le-Grand in Paris, wearing almost trainers tonight. Takam, the white boots of Chisora. We thought it might be brutal, and what a start that first round. Can they keep it up, boys?
Chisora's nice, coming off the ropes now, he's starting to establish a jab. What I found with Takam, when I worked Takam's body, although his body looks rock solid, I found I had the most success when I started my attack to his body. So I noticed Chisora did that in the first round. He's done it a couple of times now, but can he maintain it? That is the thing.
10 days notice, he went 10 rounds with Anthony Joshua, Carlos Takam, as he finds a good right hand there.
Takam's not a massive single puncher. It's his all-out aggression and his punch output that I struggled with in sparring. It took me a little while to get comfortable with him attacking me constantly. And if Chisora can somehow sort of get numbed to the onslaughts, he may have some success later. Once again, another good body shot from Chisora. He's going to really need to show some heart here to get through these first 6 rounds.
Well, we've seen so much of Dereck Chisora, the wonderful fight with Dillian White, and the terrible one against Abigail Caballero in Monaco when he just didn't turn up and he walked through it. No sleeping tonight. He's right down to business. And these two want it badly.
Well, Chisora being forced to fight here from round 1. He stood in the middle of the ring now, just exchanging blows, but getting caught with some full-blooded shots here from Takam, who's happy to work away. He doesn't seem to be too concerned about his energy, so he must know he's fit for this. Complaining about a bit of a low blow there, Takam. Referee Howard Foster just saying, get on with it.
Big uppercut. Huge hooks as well. Swings from the hip. The two of them. Heavyweight boxing at its most brutal, up close and personal.
Some of these shots from Takam, Chisora's having his success on that left hook, but some of these shots are getting through from Takam, so Chisora's having to soak these shots up early on.
I've got Chisora winning this round. He's landed the better shots, the better body shots.
He's got a shot there from Takam with the left hand, and Chisora has to give ground, and it could be about that. Who's physically stronger, who can tough it out, who's got more in the tank.
The only person I've seen go toe-to-toe with Takam like this is Alexander Povetkin in Russia. It's the only time I saw someone go toe-to-toe. And he was actually having a lot of success against Povetkin. This time round, he's not having it his own way.
Give me that cool towel. There's a cool towel in there. Give it to me, please, because he wants it down. Give me that cold towel. The one in my head.
I didn't get him might need that round, but I think he's stronger.
Listen, stay compact. Stay compact. You're doing good. Stay compact. Keep hitting him in the stomach, yeah? Good. All the punches are taking him. When you take it down, come back left hook, yeah? Good man. I'm bowling.
Don Charles, who's been with Dereck Chisora for 13 years. And he stood by him. But he said to me this week, David, that he's lost all his hair worrying about him through all this time.
I'm not surprised, I'm not surprised. The good thing for Chisora is Takam isn't a one-punch knockout specialist because he's been hit on the button 5 or 6 clean punches just in that last round.
There is 47 knockouts between them, 20 for Chisora, 27 for Takam. But they're also vastly seasoned at the 12-round distance as well. There's a vacant WBA international belt on the line. But this is about pride, and it's also about possibly another shot at a world title down the line. Maybe, or maybe if it's good, they do this again.
Well, I like Chisora's attitude. He's coming in, he's soaked up some punishment early on. That second round may have just slipped away from him, but he's doing the right things now. He's making Takam work, he's backing him up with a good defence, and he's firing back and having his own success. So if Takam can't maintain this pace, then Chisora will start to take over, but it's anybody's this early on. It's just action-packed, and with these heavy shots landing, I get the feeling anybody could be hurt at any moment.
Good jabs from Chisora. There were rumours of some shoulder trouble, but no sign of any problems yet. And Takam just backing up.
Chisora's very difficult to get out of there. You know, a lot of fighters, Vitaly Klitschko's have tried to knock him out. You have to hit him with more than 1 or 2 shots at a time.
Is that what you did with combinations?
Yeah, I couldn't rely on hitting him with 1 shot. His skills of recovery are too great. It's pretty much nearly impossible to knock unconscious. You have to hit him with 3 or 4 or 5 punches in succession to really have that. You've got to keep rattling him non-stop. It's the only way to get him out of there.
From what I remember from your fight, David, you was on your back foot under pressure. So
yes.
When you connected with your shots, he walked into them full-blooded.
Exactly.
And that's the kind of power that does take you out. Takam maybe not have that one-punch knockout power. It's going to have to be combination, but Chisora's up for this. You can see it in his body language.
You have to counter-punch, Dereck. You can't try to just force it because he's got very skilled defense. He can ride punches, and he's hitting Takam with some good body shots. He's starting to get some confidence in this round.
He certainly is. Downstairs he goes, Dereck Chisora. Takam responds with the right hand, but he just shrugs it off, the Finchley man. And he's turned up tonight.
Well, Chisora, for me, finishing round 2 strong. Not doing enough to nick the round in round 2, but starting round 3, how he finished 2 and backing up Takam. And Takam, with his work rate, for me, will be the first to slow. So this is a very interesting fight now.
Left hand from Takam was good. Again, it bounces off Chisora, who's just drilling himself through these punches, but they're good from Takam.
But they're all single punches. You have to hit him with 2 or 3 shots, literally in succession. And Takam isn't doing that. He's throwing big left hooks, which are landing on the button. But to kick Chisora out there, you've got to throw punches in bunches.
Give me the bucket, please. Right, listen. You're doing good. Don't drop your hand. Then bring it back. Yeah? Okay? Yeah. This guy cannot beat you, promise.
I know.
Keep your discipline.
Yes, sir.
Good man. Yeah, keep driving that body, but keep them up like the referee said, yeah? Keep digging that body, but watch the borderline. You understand? Beautiful.
We're absolutely loving this, guys.
This is what we were all hoping for. You know, when we've turned up at some Dereck Chisora fights in the past and felt a little bit shortchanged. This time round, he's repaying us for all those sluggish nights he's had.
The oddities through the years, the biting, the kissing of Carl Baker at a weigh-in. There's been all sorts from Chisora. Obviously the bottle incidents with you and the cages and everything else. But you know what? He's such an enigma because he's a good guy at times as well, and he's very different in his normal life, isn't he?
And he can do this, and he can have a toe-to-toe slugfest with the best in the world. When he's on point, when he's focused, when he listens to Don Charles, he can do these types of performances.
Takam, a gentle individual, very different, but very focused, and always in good fights himself.
Well, Takam being forced to back up here by Chisora, and when you're backed up, you're usually the fighter that finds it harder to maintain the pace. If you're on your back foot, throwing slightly low there on the blind side of the referee. From Chisora, Takam not making too much of a deal about it, but Takam, he's got forward momentum now. Sorry, Chisora, and he's putting Takam on his back foot, so he'll be feeling this pace.
Again tries the body shots. Dereck Chisora. Right hand from Takam, but again he backs up, and it's the single shots, David.
They're landing, they're having an effect, but if you want to get Chisora out of there like he's trying to do, you have to put them together.
Nice left hand from Chisora. Body language good from the Briton tonight.
The plan, when I fought Chisora, the plan was not to do exactly what Carlos Takam does, because Dereck Chisora is pretty easy to hit. He does stand on the ropes, he does absorb punishment, but you can use up your energy doing that. He's very tough, he's very strong, he's got a good will. You have to be a little bit slicker with him. You've got to draw him in, you've got to counter punch him. And Takam is just, he's doing the polar opposite to what you need to do to get Dereck Chisora out there. But it's entertaining for us watching, so long may it continue.
Well, there's a wily, experienced old fox, Chisora. He'll know that he's got Takam.
Good right hand, just on the top of the temple. Takam's going to have to show every bit of his chin and toughness, because I think Chisora fancies this tonight. If he can keep it going, body shots. Just occasionally, the extra bit of class from Chisora here.
I think it's that experience. He's able to just pick counter punches and sit back on the ropes and let Takam work with very little success. Big left hook there from Chisora. On his back foot, nice counter punching. He's under pressure, he's getting hit with shots, but he'll be quite comfortable on his back foot there. Boxing well on his back foot, Chisora.
I had Chisora taking too many punches in that round.
He went very slowly back to his corner, very slowly. I don't know how much he's got. I think he's doing whatever he can. If he stays in this, he wins it.
Nice and tucked up.
Dereck Chisora electing to stand in between rounds, and there was a tired saunter back after that one.
If I was him, I'd take as much rest sitting down as possible, because this is using every ounce of energy he has. This is a tough, high-paced fight, and he's been pinned against the ropes for the majority of that last round, so he's going to need to get his legs back.
Round number 5, the round that David ended proceedings at Upton Park on that rainy night in the summer of 2012. 6 years later, we're having a warmer period outside, and it's pretty hot in there. like a furnace. Can these two keep doing this round after round?
Inspiring with Takam, he seemed to do that, but that was 5 or 6 years ago. That wasn't, I don't know how he is now.
Just warned for the use of shoulder there, correctly by Howard Foster. If he can maintain this pace, Chisora, but that's the big if, because of the way he's blown hot and cold throughout his career, Cole.
It is, yeah. I mean, he's not shown us anything in the past that he can maintain this kind of pace over 12 rounds. I mean, what heavyweight can? He's going to have breathers at stages. But when these power punches land, and we've seen it a couple of times the last few rounds, when he lands, he does hurt Takam. He just stops him in his tracks. But the work output in this round favours Takam massively. Chisora seems to be wanting to take a bit of a breather.
But the good news for Chisora is, you know, I remember Carlos Takam having great success against Alexander Povetkin. Then all of a sudden he took a left hook and he was knocked out. So Takam can be knocked out. He's been knocked out before, and Chisora's got a big punch. If he can hang in the fight, if he can top it out, he's always got that punch. A deed like that, a shot like that.
Big right hand and a left from Chisora.
It's a good thing about the heavyweight division. Anything's possible. One shot is all it takes.
As we saw with Dave Allen and Nick Webb earlier tonight, what a success for the Doncaster man. Can Chisora have a fantastic night? There's been so much disappointment of late with him, but Takam's still there, still firing off these hooks. At the moment, Carl, he's not going anywhere.
Well, Chisora's on his back foot soaking up, I mean, especially early on in the round, but on his back foot now, he's landing some nice quality counters. He's not thrown enough in this round to win it for me. But Takam's spending a lot of energy. And let's not forget, we're only in round 5 of 12, and Takam is slowing down and he's starting to take more punches, cleaner punches.
Left hook from Chisora to the body, but he is trapped on those ropes as Takam just continues to tee off on him. Work rate's been phenomenal for the Frenchman.
Yeah, a lot of work from Takam. Chisora being very clever with his defence, very cute, soaking him up, looking for the counter, but far too much getting through from Takam.
What effort, what spirit these gladiators, these old boys have shown us. Terrific session again, and Chisora has to hold on to the ropes.
Seconds out, round 6.
Too close to ringside, big fight fan. He'll be absolutely loving it, as we are. This brawl, this war between Dereck Chisora and Carlos Takam. We know Chisora has trained very hard. Darren Barker was saying he's seen him out really early in the morning with a backpack on, running the streets of London, sparring Bryant Jennings and the Kirky father and son combination. The promoters of Carlos Takam said he is in unbelievable condition. They're going to need to be, the pair of them, if this is going to continue.
Well, Chisora's obviously taking this fight very seriously, and you're right, he does need to be in great shape, because Takam is a ferocious worker. Fast hand, we saw it against AJ right into the late stage of that fight, and there's questions whether that fight should have been stopped or not, and that was on late notice, so he's naturally very fit, keeps himself in good shape between fights. But Chisora, you can tell by his attitude and his body language, he's gritting his teeth, he looks confident, he's really having a go.
Whatever happens here, the attitude tonight for Dereck Chisora has been bang on. He didn't want to let himself down on this stage.
10 out of 10, you know, for me, you know, Dereck Chisora is his mindset that's let him down in these big fights in the past, you know, going into European title fights, underprepared. This time around, clearly, he's paid the price in training, you know, and he's fighting, he's world-class tonight. He's world-class. He's fighting a world-class fighter in Carlos Takam, and he's performing. It's a nip-and-tuck fight.
And we're just approaching the halfway stage here, and Takam's the one for me that seems to be slowing down as Chisora tries to push him back. This is very interesting.
Again, swinging off the ropes, Chisora. Good hand speed there. A left hand and a right from Takam, and Chisora has to suck that up and take it.
Chisora working well on his back foot, and Takam was able to just snipe a shot, the left hook over, looping left, and Chisora took it well.
And an uppercut as well. Good moments for Carlos Takam as Chisora's backed up in his own corner. Trying to get his own uppercuts in. It's thrilling, this.
Yeah, don't miss the quality work from Chisora on his back foot, because he's landing volumes here, being caught with a couple of big shots. And his volume combination punches on his back foot is very good, very accurate.
Left hand from Takam. He tries to shake it off. Look at this bravado from Chisora. But he's shipping a lot of punishment now. And Takam has really got his foot down. And he wants to knock out here.
Well, it's the heavy, hurtful-looking shots that are coming from Takam, and Chisora needs to get off them ropes, really, because he's doing himself no favours sitting back here. Big left hooks.
Howard Foster having a look at Chisora, fights back. Incredible. Here comes Del Boy. He's tottering there, Chisora, but he's finding something from somewhere. Wonderful. Brilliant fight. Boxing is hot now, and this is on fire. Listen to the crowd.
What a finish for that round there from Chisora. He knows he was under pressure on his back foot, and he answered back and turned it around. The crowd singing, absolutely loving this. We're loving this. What a great heavyweight fight this has turned out to be. Dereck Chisora now going into the second half of this fight. Maybe slightly behind on the cards, but mentally he will be strong from the back of that.
What about the physical state at heavyweight of these two and what they've done in the first half, David?
Listen, these guys have expended way more energy than most heavyweights use in 12 rounds of action. They broke the punch output for this fight is what you'd expect from a middleweight fight. And Chisora particularly isn't known for throwing that many punches, so he's doing something he doesn't usually do.
Chisora,
he's up for it now. He knows he's in the flow. He's in the flow right now.
and back they go into the close combat mode they have been since the opening bell. Takam, I think, feels that Chisora is beginning to tire.
He is. He's really stepping on the gas now, picking his punches. He's really looking for a bit the stoppage now.
Oh, uppercut as well. And
Chisora really needs to start doing something, firing back. He really does.
Or he needs to close that gap and hold on, because you don't want to be on the end of these big bombs from Takam. Let
big
Takam
right
work away.
From Chisora. And Takam looks to come again. How much more can these two give and take?
Well, there's that counter punch from Chisora that he's been throwing all night. When he finds it, Takam does not like it.
Chisora really needs to stay on point. He can't be walking offside on like that, copping left hooks. He needs to really focus on his defence.
But David, there's not been one moment of respite.
There really hasn't. Normally a fight with heavyweights tie up, then normally the referee are forced to break heavyweights up. The referee has just allowed them to work. It's an easy fight. It's an easy fight for the referee. Close quarters, good action, no unnecessary head work, no elbows. A clean, exciting fight from the very first bell.
Dereck Chisora and Dillian White gave us that fabulous one in Manchester. I'd say this is even better.
Without doubt. I didn't know Dereck Chisora still had this in his tank. I thought those days were long gone, but he's rewound the clock. He really has tonight.
I think it's that mindset Dereck Chisora's coming with tonight. He doesn't want to lie down. He doesn't want to take the defeat. He was devastated out in Monaco when he lost that fight, that he felt he underperformed in that, and I think the hurt of that means that he's turning up tonight with the right attitude.
He's woken up, he's turned up, and he's still trying to turn a fight on its head with all this Takam pressure. Chisora dangerous with those uppercuts and left hands, but Takam still in front of him.
Well, Takam ahead and still working away here. Chisora needs a big finish for this round. He's landing some nice shots, but the volume, the output from Takam, he's just getting it for him here.
Just listen to the crowd getting behind Chisora. What a great effort though from Carlos Takam. The amount of punches he's thrown, he's come here with serious intentions.
He's skipped no sessions in the gym, clearly. You know, he's always in good shape anyway. But for this fight, he must have known how tough Dereck Chisora could be. And obviously, Dereck obviously knew what Takam brings to the table, because he's got himself in sort of career good shape here. He really is the Dereck Chisora of old, the Dereck Chisora who went 12 rounds with Vitaly Klitschko. This is the guy we're seeing, the guy who really pushed Robert Elenius to a controversial points loss.
Have you guys had a moment to even write your scores down?
I keep forgetting.
Have you sort of got it?
I keep forgetting.
Well, I think Chisora's sitting back as well at times, waiting for Takam to slow down, and he's showing no signs of that really. Takam just happy to keep working away, which is extraordinary for the size of the man.
I've only given Chisora the third round. I had the second round even, and everything else I've given to Carlos Takam. But the rounds have been quite close. Dereck Chisora has stayed in the round, but hasn't won any of the rounds.
I've given Chisora a couple of rounds, round 3 and round 4 I was very impressed with. I give him a share of round 6, but his work's been quality, but the sheer output of Takam, and let's not forget, you've got to score punches landed.
Yeah, exactly.
And the output from Takam has just been overwhelming. He's just been ahead.
Matthew Macklin and Johnny Nelson both have Carlos Takam up by 2 or 3. As we enter round 8, after the first 2 or 3 rounds, I wasn't even sure we were going to get to halfway, but on we go. The sweat-stained black trunks of Carlos Takam and the silver grey of Dereck Chisora. And what a stand this is, if this is one of his final ones. The British heavyweight, who started in February 2007. Takam around since 2005. Oh, what a shot for Dereck Chisora in the 8th round. And Carlos Takam is just about up at his legs. Oh, betraying him, Howard Foster. Says fight on, but this is Chisora's moment. Oh, right hand. And Dereck Chisora has the greatest night of his career. Unbelievable. Wow. The smile from Del Boy is astonishing. And Carlos Takam's brave effort, his immense work rate, comes up short as Dereck Chisora stuns the O2 in one of the great heavyweight fights, and everyone's on their feet, including you, David.
Listen, what an absolute crack of a punch. He toughed it out. He took his licks like a man. He kept the pressure on. And Don Charles, he's finally done what Don Charles has been banging on about for years and years and years. Don Charles knew Dereck Chisora had that in him. And tonight, it's all paid off.
Well, we kept talking about the attitude of Dereck Chisora, and if he didn't have that mentality and that belief that he's had all week and all this evening whilst in that ring, he wouldn't have landed that shot.
Carlos Takam up on his feet. Great to see as Dereck Chisora takes his applause. And he has his moment. He said he'd come for war. He said he would not let him or Don Charles down. And it's celebration time for Del Boy.
He really, truly deserves that. He's gate-crashed the world level once again. This was the performance he's been threatening for many, many years, but not produced. This was it. You know, Carlos Takam, you know, and Anthony Joshua had, you know, rounds and rounds to do that to Takam. He couldn't knock Takam down with all the rounds he had. You know, he really performed
it was under
tonight.
Unbelievable pressure. It was starting to go away from him slightly. He was looking tired. He was under pressure, but he was able to turn that round, and not many could do that. You're right, David.
Sensational fights need Rocky-like endings to be remembered forever. And I tell you what,
This will be.
No doubt, this is by far his best fight, without a doubt, and it just catapults him into the world stage once again. He's there, he's the guy to beat now. Everybody knows he's going to turn up, and win or lose, you're getting a great fight. So, you know, the winner of Parker, Dylan White, who knows? I'd love to see him fight that. After the performance like that, he's now world class. Dereck Chisora is back in world class.
His 37th fight, 34 years of age, and after that soporific European title challenge where he looked really finished, Carl, he has utterly wound up the clock and produced the performance of his career.
Look at that for a right hand there, landed on the side of Takam's head, and they scramble your senses, shut down the central nervous system. Takam was at the...
I'm just going to bring Tony Bellew in. They're very close, him and Dereck, and you said he'd never give in.
I said from day one he would never give in. Me and David were having a little debate off air, and I know Del, I've spent so many years around since the amateurs. I love him. I'm so happy for him. He is now back where he belongs. He demands a shot at something, someone. He has just done what no one else has done to Carlos Takam. He has just wiped Carlos Takam out and proved he belongs with the big boys in the heavyweight division.
He was under enormous pressure, Tony, but he sucked it up, and somehow he found the belief right deep down in those boots.
Adam, he's had niggles through this camp. He's had a few little knocks and bumps, a sore shoulder, and you know what? You know what he does? He just gets on with it, and he turns up every time. Dereck Chisora fights anyone, anywhere. Let's go through his resume. David Haye, Vitaly Klitschko. He fights anybody. He deserves all the credit. Well, look at this. Who's done that to Carlos Takam, Adam? Nobody's done that to Carlos Takam. David said before the fight, Carlos Takam was such a hard man, and no one could do this. Look at this, the scenes. The whole country is behind Dereck Chisora. You've heard them in here tonight. I'm just so happy for him. No one deserves it more.
You've got to love him, even when he's throwing tables. He has been someone completely different, and Dereck Chisora celebrates, and I'm so pleased too, David, for Don Charles, who stuck by him.
Don Charles knew he had that in him. I gave up on Dereck, to be honest. Going into this fight, I really thought it was the wrong fight for him. I thought he belonged at sort of domestic level, but tonight he chose Carlos Takam. I remember I had a conversation with him. I told him not to fight Carlos Takam, and this is why he knew.
As well, the respect between warriors. You now have it, of course, with Tony Bellew. These two bared their souls in there, and it was an absolute treat for fight fans. They were incredible tonight. It was boxing at its most brutal.
Well, when Chisora turns up and he means business, this is what he can produce. Tony Bellew saying there he turns up all the time. He doesn't turn up every time. Sometimes he's got the wrong attitude, but when he turns up with the right attitude, this is what he can do.
And in heavyweight boxing, one punch can turn it all around, and that's what the fans love.
This is why the heavyweight division is the most exciting division in the world, because anything could happen. It could be slipping away from you, and one shot from an 18-stone man puts you to sleep.
And let's just remind everybody, that's not even the main event. We got Dillian White and Joseph Parker to come. Follow that, guys.
Good luck with that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, referee Howard Foster has our boxers, and before we declare the result, a referee has asked that you join him and pay tribute to both these heavyweights in the ring. The end comes. 1 minute, 1 second into round number 8. Howard Foster dispenses with the count. The winner by technical count out, and the new WBA International Heavyweight Champion, Dereck Chisora. Ladies and gentlemen, please give appreciation for Carlos Takam.
A wonderful advert at what it means to fighters, how deep they dug. Dereck Chisora wins the war. Your heart goes out to Carlos Takam as well. What a treat.
Well, Takam, I think, thoroughly believed he could do this and did not expect that from Chisora. He'd have watched him in his previous fights. Chisora really did turn out a performance there, a performance that's won the heart of the fans. I think he maybe have even surprised himself there with that knockout. I mean, it was 2 punches. He saw Takam hurt and down, and then he followed it up with that as soon as the referee brought him back together, that overhand right, and that was the end for Takam. And Chisora, I can't see his face if he's smiling or not, but I'm sure he is deep down.
Now, that's how you close the show. When you got a man hurt, that's how you get him out of there. Now, Dereck Chisora hasn't shown one-punch knockout power going back the last few fights. He's conjured up from somewhere. He's listened to his coach, he's listened to his team, he's got himself in fantastic condition, and he deserves everything he gets from this point on.
A phenomenal encounter. What a story we have developing here at the O2. Dereck Chisora is back.
Dereck Chisora, that's surely one of the best heavyweight fights we've seen on these shores for many years. Talk us through it.
You know what, yeah, it was tough, you know, but this fight was very emotional for me. I want to dedicate this fight to my 2 beautiful girls at home, my missus and my beautiful daughter. This was very tough, and Takam is a true tough African boy. Very tough.
He's only been stopped twice, once by AJ, once by Povetkin, both in 10 rounds. You've done it in 8. What sort of message has that sent out?
Hey, listen, the guy was tough. I realized I could not trade with him toe-to-toe. So I knew the over right hand was going to catch him, but I could not chuck it in the early rounds because I knew I'd be left open. So on that round, something in my mind that said, you know what? It's time you send it home.
You hurt him, he hurt you. How badly hurt were you in the fight?
Nah, he didn't hurt me. Now you're lying. He didn't hurt me, man. I'm English. Nobody can hurt us.
At times in your career, you've been portrayed as the bad guy. I just wonder, the emotion, you mentioned the emotion earlier, the emotion hearing this crowd chant your name with everybody cheering you on.
Oh, yeah, man, listen. I am bad. There's no 2 ways about it. But, you know, when I step in this arena, I want to fight for the fans. You know, I said war on my cap. And I bet you any money I win the fight of the year with this fight. There's no doubt about it. It was very tough.
Who do you want to fight next?
Hey, listen. It's up to these fans who they want to see me fight. You know, I'll say names, but I know really and truly they come out and say, you know what, let's go the other way around. They don't want to fight me. I'm 34, but I feel 21 right now.
Do you think, though, that win catapults you back into world title contention?
Yes, you know, hand on my heart, you know, I'm a born again. I believe in God. I do everything I do right now for God. So the next opponent I take down will be for God. So whoever wants it can have it. And really and truly, I'll tell Eddie, sort something out, but Eddie, you know, he's just gonna duck and dive as well. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Is the motivation, though, for big fights still there? The hunger still burns?
Hey, listen, man. Look at the O2, man. You know, I don't fight for me. I fight for the fans. That's it. I fight for these guys here. You know, when they sing my name, I walk in here, I'm about it. You know, it's when I put this thing on, I'm a different man. You know, so I still want to fight. If there's anybody out there who wants it, you know what, you can have it.
Would you be interested in the winner of the main event?
Oh, yeah, man. I'll be definitely up for it. You know, if Joseph Parker wins it, I'm ready. I got my passport. We do it in New Zealand if he wants it, or we do it here. You know, if Dylan wins it, I know for a fact he's gonna have to sign the contract, but I know, knowing him, he'll be like, no, I got a world title fight. But good luck to both of them, you know what I'm saying?
Eddie Hearn, he says you're gonna duck and dive. Which way are you gonna duck?
I just want to let everyone know, first of all, 2 weeks ago, and I know he doesn't want to tell anyone, but 2 weeks ago, he picked up a shoulder injury. And I asked him, what are you going to do? And his exact words to me is, I'm not going to let...
I lied. I didn't have no shoulder injury. I wanted more money. So I had to squeeze him for more money.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah,
You're right. You shouldn't have told anyone. You're right.
I told him, listen, I don't think I'm gonna fight. I'm not gonna make it. He goes, all right, then tell me how more money do you want? I was like, you know what? Let's make it that number. He goes, all right, you got it. I was like, you know what? I feel better now.
The best thing is I would have given you double. All I want to say is that we sit down. You cannot imagine what those two went through in the ring tonight. I just want to say well done, Dereck Chisora and Carlos Takam, because those two are absolute warriors.
Do I get a new watch?
Yeah, you lost the last one.
And do I get a new watch?
You lost the last one.
Yes or no?
You can buy me one now.
I'll buy you one.
Listen, last words to you.
Yeah.
Sum it up.
Listen, let's go out there, have a great summer. Ibiza, here I come.
Dereck,